We are working on enhancing the Connect 4 project from the YByte Python curriculum available at www.ybyte.in. Enhancements, as we know, come in different forms. Sometimes we get a new feature, sometimes we get a new, let's say, look on the screen and so on. But sometimes it's very internal. For example, in this video, we will see how we can improve our code. We can combine all these four winning functions into a single function. Recall, we have four functions, four ways we can win. So we have functions to check horizontal winner, vertical winner, diagonal one winner, and diagonal two winner. In fact, as we'll see in this video, we can combine them all into a single function because that then makes the code a lot more neater. Now, really the motivation for this comes from the fact that if you think about it, the structure of these functions that we have is in fact exactly identical. So we have a range of search rows, a range of search columns, and then a certain direction in which we search. So for example, if you look at the horizontal search, as you know, horizontal search can happen, basically horizontal win can happen on any of the rows. So we search in all the rows, but we search only from columns 0 to 3. And I say direction x plus because what I mean is that in the x direction we keep moving, which means we stay on the same row and go across columns. Contrast that with the vertical. So in the vertical case, we search from rows 0 to 2, but then we search on all columns and we go in direction y plus. Now, what I mean by y plus is that we start, let's say, from the top and we go higher and higher in the column index. So, that's what I mean. Likewise, for diagonal one, we search only in rows 3 to 5, column 0 to 3. We spoke about this elsewhere, but we go in a direction which is increasing on x, but decreasing on y. So, which means I increase the column index, I decrease the row index, and exactly reverse, let's say, similar in diagonal 2, search range is 0 to 2, 0 to 3 rows and columns respectively. I increase the row index, I increase the column index. So basically, once we recognize that there is this genuine, let's say, general structure to this whole problem, we can create an outer loop which just then checks for every winner type. For each of these winner types, it can be 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0 is horizontal, 1 is vertical, 2 is diagonal 1, 3 is diagonal 2. We can create, let's say, a direction in which to search, and we can create these winning ranges. We can convert the winning ranges to lists, as we'll see in the code just now. So I get back to my project over here. I'm just going to say define a function called check all winners. So, by the name, as I kind of imply that, look, I'm going to check, you tell me the value that you want to check for. I'm going to check for all the winners at once. So this is like kind of different from checking horizontal first, then vertical, then and so on and so forth, right? Then let's say diagonal 1, diagonal 2 and all. I'm going to return a boolean from this called winner. Let me set it to false to start with. Like I said, I'm going to define okay, so I have to be careful with the indentation. So winner, say, type. This is a list 0, 1, 2, and 3. Again, horizontal, vertical, diagonal 1, diagonal 2. Now, having done this, I will sweep through, or let's say I'll run through the different winner types. So I just run a for loop. I say, like, for W2 in, let's say, winner type. So we'll basically go from 0, 1, 2, and 3. That's the value W2 will take. Now, depending on what the value is, we will set the row list, the column list, the range of rows to search, range of columns to search, and also a direction. Let's see how we do this. So I'm just going to say if W2 is equal to 0, well, row list is, we can use list comprehension here. So I can just go and say, well, X for X in range n rows. Now, again, remember, this is because we can search in all the rows. However, on the column side, I will not be searching on all the columns. I just go and say column list is, well, X for X in range 4. Now, the reason is, if you look at the check horizontal winner function, even today, even right now, that says, it's basically searching in all rows, but searching in range of 4. So that's exactly what I'm trying to emulate. I'm saying, well, let's make a list here, column list, which is basically column 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, having done this, I am going to set a direction. Now, what I mean by direction here is, how do I move in the row index and how do I move in the column index? So it's also a list. In this case, remember, for horizontal search, I'm staying on a given row, but moving across columns. That's why I make it 0 and 1. Um, you know, let's just do the remaining part first, and then we can add the cases for the different winner types. In fact, the remaining part is going to be quite similar to this. So I just get, let's say, this piece of the code here. Um, you know, I put it here. I just have to be careful with the indentation. It has to be, inside the for winner types, because I must check this for every winner. But then it must not be as part of the if wt equals to 0, because there'll be more if conditions over here. So I just put it in the right indentation. Now I'm going to replace this range with a list. So for JJ in row list, for KK in, say, column list. Now, as always, we will form these list called cells. So there's like 4 adjacent cells in that particular, let's say, in the given direction. But remember, the direction has to be formed from here. So I'm just going to say CNT times DIRN 0, because remember, direction 0 tells me how do I move in the, say in the, in the row indices, and direction 1 tells me how do I move in the column indices. So for example, for horizontal, I have, 0 and 1, which means I will, not change the row, but in fact, I'll go across in columns. So I'll form my, my cells that way. Then I check for myself if all the cells are same value and they're equal to the value that has been provided. If that is the case, well, I will go and, basically I can declare winner to be true. I can draw a winning line with the value given by WT, with the winner type given by WT, because remember 0 was horizontal. It's the same thing that we said. 1 is vertical, 2 is diagonal 1, 3 is diagonal 2. So with this, the line will be formed. Now I just have to be a little bit careful for the break statements here. Basically, notice this kind of like a nested loop here going on. There's an outer for loop for the winner types. There's an, like, there are 4 levels of for loop here. So one is the outer winner type, one is for the row, one is for the column. Now within the column, I go and form the cells. That's okay. That's kind of like really deep inside. I do it for every, everybody, every, let's say, item in the JN for JJ and KK. Then I check for the winner, and if I'm breaking, remember I'm breaking from the inner for loop. Now I must, once I form a winner, I will of course break from the outer for loop as well. So I just go and say if winner, then will break. And having found one winner in any of the winner types, I must again then break from the extreme outer for loop. So I just go and put again winner. If winner, then break. And of course, I will go and return the winner from here, right? So uh, so that there is a value returned from this. Now, right now, this is only for horizontal winners, but we can, extend the function in the exact same, let's say, methodology. I will just go and add, okay, so let me put a comment over here, say horizontal. Next, I will go and say, look, let me just copy and paste this. Just have to be a little bit careful. So I will go and say, okay, look, let's extend this function. If wt is equal to 1, well, that is going to be a vertical winner. Now, for a vertical winner, remember, I do not search in all the rows. In fact, we search only in rows 0, 1, and 2. So I'm going to make this range 3. I'm going to make this as n calls, because the search in the column direction happens in all the columns. Now, clearly, for the vertical scenario, I'm going to go down in the rows while maintaining the same column. So the direction becomes 1 and 0, and everything else is taken care of. In fact, I will go and add my other two cases, which is if WT is equal to 2, so that is, let's say, D1, so that's a positive sloping diagonal. Now, in this case, remember, we are starting everything from like a rectangle over here at the left side of the of the board. So this is 3 to n rows in steps of 1. So range, exactly same as, let's say, slicing. And this happens only in the first 3 columns, so range 4. Now, now I have to go kind of like in this direction, which means I must reduce the row index, but I must increase the column index. And that's why the direction will be -1 and 1. And finally, I can do the same, I can add one more clause for, let's say, WT is equal to 3. So that is going to be D2. Again, I have to, update the, let's say, the ranges here. So this is going to be in range 0 to 0, 1, 2, rows number 0, 1, 2. So 0 to 3, and this is going to be range 4. Again, we can validate this against the previous functions. And direction now is 1, 1, because I'm increasing in the row index. That's a column index, also increasing the row index. So that's why direction here is 1, 1. Now with this set, in fact, I expect this function to work. It should work. And something interesting happens that now when I call for check winner, I don't have to call all of these one by one because that's already kind of built into this. So all I need to do is to say winner is equal to say check all winners with the value. So that way, I can maintain the structure that we had from earlier. I can go and comment out all of these statements. In fact, I can use a triple quote. I can use a triple quote over here to do this. But of course, I will go and end this here. So that creates like a nice, comment out this entire. So when I run this piece of code, let me try to win this. Look, it tells me player wins, and in fact, I got a horizontal winner. So we can extract some information out. We know that everything has happened correctly because I got this line here. Let's try this one more time. I'll try to get, let's say, either a computer to win, or let's say I'll try to get a, let me try to get a vertical win here, right? So I'm going to get a vertical win, and indeed, this is a vertical. Okay, so I'm close to getting a diagonal win here. Let's see if I detect that. And indeed, I found a diagonal win, and that was detected. I get a player one. So you get the idea that the code is working perfectly fine. But but now it's a lot more concise. Everything happens to this one function. In fact, all of these functions can be commented out. So we can indeed do that. If you want to, we can just go and comment out all of this. That just kind of. So I can go and comment out, let's say, all of these, and the code will run exactly the same because they are not being called anyway. So even after commenting out, I notice my computer won a horizontal victory and everything is. Before I wrap this up, there is something to think about, something to reflect on. You notice how in the basic game we first got all the pieces working, even if it was not highly optimized. But once we had the confidence that we had the code correct, we had all the logic in place, then we could exploit the basic structure of this to make it, let's say, more optimized. And that I think is a good way of building stuff. Get it correct first, recognize the patterns, and then you see that there are ways to optimize it. And that in essence is how we learn programming at PyByte. Look at our website because we learn Python programming through such fun activities, building them, thinking about enhancements, implementing enhancements, and so on. Take care. Thank you so much.